Yeah, flooding all across the upper Midwest right now. The good news for folks here in Spencer is that the Little Sioux River is starting to recede. The floodwaters are starting to go down, although the Little Sioux is still at major flood stage, and you can see some of that flooding right behind me. A really tough situation for so many folks here, and one man actually died a little ways away from here when his truck got swept away in the floodwaters. We talked to another man who actually saved folks in a kayak as those floodwaters started to inundate his community. Take a listen.
We went and drove around for 10 minutes, and in that 10 minutes we were gone. The water had come up 4.5 feet. By the time I got back to the house, I had less than 5 minutes to get my kids out of the house, and we were pretty much stuck on an island in the apartment complex across from our house.
What do you do next?
I don't know, man. Start over. It's hard to, it's hard to even fathom that everything you worked for is gone.
Torrential rain and flooding have had impacts across the upper Midwest. In Blue Earth County, Minnesota, a dam suffered a partial failure because of a buildup of debris and flooding along the Blue Earth River. While a shocking sight, the good news there is that the partial failure of the Rapidan Dam might have taken some pressure off of the dam, and no mass evacuations have had to be ordered. In Rock Valley, Iowa, a levee failed on the Rock River early Saturday. Officials activated tornado sirens to help trigger evacuations as floodwaters rose quickly. Then in Lyon County, Iowa, officials say 9 freight train cars were even derailed by the flooding there after the train tried to pass through those floodwaters. Dozens of roads and bridges have been washed away. This followed an intense amount of rainfall over the upper Midwest over the weekend, with some rain gauges and radar estimates showing between 8 to 18 inches of rain. Meanwhile, President Biden has declared a major federal disaster declaration for the state of Iowa. That unlocks additional federal aid for the state, and it's going to help some people get back on their feet. But there is a lot of need here. Some people are now in shelters. Some drinking water in some areas is undrinkable, and folks can't use the sewer system here. Charles, back to you.
Max, before I let you go, first and foremost, showing the human side of this is really amazing. We watch weather maps, we see images, but the human side was very powerful. And also seasonality. Are we bracing for these things to get worse before they get better?
Well, unfortunately, more rain is in the forecast for the Midwest throughout the rest of the week. More severe weather could be on the way. That's a really tough go for folks who live downriver from where this rain could be falling. Now, luckily, it appears that the target isn't necessarily on the parts of the country that have experienced this type of flooding, but everybody needs to be weather aware.
Absolutely. Great reporting. Thank you very much, Max.